Today is the first Members' Day that we've had for quite a few weeks and should be pretty interesting from that perspective. But we start off with questions, the way we do each day, and there's likely to be a few that cause interest or excitement or controversy. The question number 2 is from Simon Bridges to the Prime Minister. Does she have confidence in all her ministers? Now, no one's quite sure where that question's going to go, whether it's something which has already been out there in the public or whether there's a new suggestion that's going to be made by Mr Bridges. Then following that, David Seymour is asking the Acting Minister of Education, does he believe his government has handled the issue of charter schools well? Mr Seymour doesn't get a question very often, and so it'll be interesting to see the way that one goes. Simon Bridges is asking the Prime Minister a second question about the comments that she made when she received a Greenpeace petition about oil and gas exploration. Minister of Finance has a question from Amy Adams around funding capital projects. It's quite a controversial area. Alfred Naro is asking the Minister for Child Poverty Reduction, who is the Prime Minister, a question around whether there should be politics in child poverty. And so the Prime Minister will be busy today. Nick Smith has a question to the Minister of Justice about what's generally known as a waka jumping bill and discussions that are happening about that. The Defence Capability Plan, Ron Mark, is being asked by Mark Mitchell. So there are a lot of questions there. What is interesting is that it is the first occasion where a question has been transferred to the National Party from the Greens. They've chosen to use that around the waka jumping legislation, and so that there'll be a lot of eyes focused on that. After question time, we go to the general debate and then on to members' bills. The first is in the name of Simeon Brown. It purports to increase the penalty for the supply and distribution of psychoactive substances. My understanding is that this bill will get the support of the Parliament through the first reading, and that will go to Select Committee. The next one is the Employment Relations Triangular Employment Bill. This is an issue which was around when I was Minister of Labour, which is over a decade ago. But what it's designed to do is to ensure that employees are employed by one employer, but who are working under the direction of control of another organisation, don't lose their rights to have a collective agreement. So it's a fine area of law, but one which is pretty important to some people. Melissa Lee has a bill up on accident compensation for recent migrants and returning New Zealanders, and which would allow people to continue to get ACC weekly compensation for a small group of people who are eligible for that but can't get superannuation. And then there's the Oranga Tamariki Parents and Guardians Responsibility Amendment Bill from Barbara Courager. And the purpose of this bill is to give youth court judges the ability to put conditions on the activities of parents or guardians when their child is in the jurisdiction of the court. So wide variety, bills coming from different parties, and each of the debates is just over an hour long, and Parliament, I think, this evening is going to be pretty interesting.